Age estimation for juveniles tends to focus on looking at the growth plates, and if the epiphyseal line, which is the connection between the diaphysis and the epiphysis of a bone, is fused or not. Now what this means is that in a child, in an infant or a juvenile, the bone is in two pieces. So this is a humerus here, and you can see that the diaphysis here and the epiphysis are two separate pieces. Now there's cartilage holding these two pieces together, and as the bone grows, it grows on the ends, and this will eventually get longer and remodel. But this is the epiphyseal line. So in a young individual, this is in two pieces. Now at particular ages, and it's a different age for each joint, these two pieces hook together, and you'll still see a groove here. Okay? And that's when that fusion is in progress. So here you can see that groove right around. So you can see the two pieces, they're attached together, they don't come apart, but you can still see that growth plate, that line between the epiphysis and the diaphysis. That tells you that growth is in process of ending. So we've gotten as tall as we're going to be, our arms or legs have gotten as long as they're going to be, and growth has finished, but we're still trying to fuse those two pieces together. Once fusion is done, which you can see here, then that fusion line is gone. So if you look at those two together, you can see then that on this one there's no groove, whereas on this one it's still in progress. So even though this one here is smaller than this one here, we know that this individual is actually younger than this one. This individual has completed growth, so they are fully adult, whereas this individual is still in progress. So they're an older juvenile. This individual, because it's two separate pieces, is a younger juvenile. Now how this works on our age chart in your book looks at, there's two numbers. So there's a lower number and an upper number. If the individual is younger than the age listed, it means that these are in two different pieces. If the individual is between the ages listed, then we're looking for this groove. And if the individual is older, then that groove is missing. So when we actually are looking at that bone, we would see this and go, this is the humerus and this is the humeral head. So this is completed growth. So on our chart, it says that growth ends at 23, so this individual is 23 or older. So the key is looking at that chart, looking at, is it open, two separate pieces, in progress where you've got the groove, or is it completely closed? And that's what's going to tell us if it's going to be younger than the youngest age listed, between those two ages, or above the top age. So again, completely fused is above the top age. In progress, like this one here, is between the two ages listed on the chart. And if the two pieces are completely separate, then it's younger than the age listed. Now something to keep in mind is that we have multiple ends of the bones, right? So on this particular individual, we've got the head of the humerus, but we also have the distal end of the humerus. And here you can see that distal end is also missing, as is the medial epicondyle. So for all parts of this bone, this individual has not started the process of growth finishing. So still in progress for all of the epiphyses. Therefore, in the chart, we're going to look at all of those parts, the medial epicondyle, the distal end, and the head, and look for the youngest age of those, and the individual is going to be younger than that youngest age. Now when we have a bone like this one where we've got the head in progress, but the distal end is fused, it's finished, we know then that the distal end tells us that the individual is older than the age listed for the distal end. And for the proximal end, then we're going to look at the between ages. So then we have to combine those age ranges to determine how old the individual actually is. So again, the key is looking at each part individually and then combining the age ranges to determine the age of the individual as a whole.